Ever wonder how wars change more than just borders? Let's turn back the clock to before 1914. London was the undisputed king of the world economy. The British pound was literally as good as gold, backed by the largest empire the world had ever seen. Britain was the world's banker, the financial powerhouse everyone looked to. It seemed like their reign would never end. But then, the summer of 1914 arrived, and the world plunged into the Great War. This wasn't just a battle of armies. It was a battle of economy, and the cost was staggering. A bill unlike anything history had ever witnessed to pay for the war. Britain tried everything. First, they dipped into their vast gold reserves. Then, they hiked taxes to new heights. They called on their citizens to buy war bonds, pouring their life savings into the national effort. But it was a financial black hole.
The war demanded more. Always more.
Desperate times called for desperate measures. Britain made a monumental decision, shattering a tradition that had been the bedrock of its power for centuries. They abandoned the gold standard. For the first time, the pound wasn't guaranteed by gold. It was a risky move, but they had no choice. To keep the war machine churning, they had to turn to a new rising power across the Atlantic, America. Millions, then billions of pounds were borrowed. The world's banker was now a debtor. When the smoke finally cleared in 1918, the world was a different place. Britain had won the war, but the victory came at a terrible price. They were no longer the world's creditor, but its biggest, both their factories. Once the envy of the world, struggled. Prices skyrocketed as inflation ran rampant, silently eating away at people's savings and livelihoods. The empire was victorious on the battlefield, but it had lost its economic crown. The post-war order was a complete reversal. The financial spotlight faded from London and began to shine brightly on New York. The United States, once a debtor to Europe, was now the world's primary lender. This wasn't just a redrawing of maps. It was a fundamental shift in global power. World War I didn't just end an era of empires. It moved the very center of the financial universe. For Britain, the glory days of economic dominance were over. A powerful reminder that the costs of war are counted long after the last shot is fired. Thanks for watching. If you found this piece of history interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this. See you next time!